As much as you may not want to, at some point in this game, you have to build a farm account. The reason why that is troop costs, building costs, tech costs, they get so high that there is no way you can truly get there unless you're active. And due to things that's common in this game, such as a nap or alliances, it's very hard to be active at a level that you are growing very quickly. So a lot of people don't realize this until they're into, level 17, 18, 19, 20, and they start building a farm. But if you were to start one early, just as a little side gig and just let it grow a little bit, there's actually very big long-term gains in this. So the point of this video is just how to really do that. So first and foremost, just do one. I'm not going to show you how to create a second account. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that based off PC or phone or whatever, so you can find a different video. But in terms of how to actually grow a farm, you want to at least do one early, and your long-term gain will be very, very good. So there's two ways that you can build a farm. You can do a passive farm that takes minimal effort, set it, forget it, move on with your life, or you can do an active farm. A lot of the things that apply to the passive farm apply to the active. So first, we're just going to talk about the passive ones. Let's start with technology. The only thing that you want to truly research on a passive farm account is your city development. So on your top row, the second item, you want to maximize this. All this is passive income. Increase your fuel income. So you can get a good little bonus here with little monetary investment or resource investment, simply growing resources. Nothing else in here is really important. If you wanted to, after you maximize that because you're bored, the only other area I would really look at is zone commemoration, because your first two is gathering based. But if you're not using this one, it doesn't really matter. So really just city development's kind of the only thing you want to do. The next rule that you want to think about is do not spend resources on anything except things that you need to get to the next level. So something like a high level storage warehouse, you don't need to worry about maximizing that because you should never reach that limit. This is something you're going to be raiding. So do not invest in anything unless it's required to get, to the level that you want to get. Only do the bare minimum and let your main account absorb a lot of that. So for most of these passive ones, the target level you really want to be is about 13, 14. If you're targeting that level, honestly, you can get there in about a week of playing this game. So inside of a week, maybe it's just a weekend where you got nothing to do, you just make one farm account. You can get this easily into the teens in a weekend. It's not that hard. You're not wasting a lot of resources on unnecessary things. You're not worried about upkeep, electricity, or anything like that. So your ration truck, wherever mine is, right there, your ration truck, just take it off the road, take everything off. Only things that you would really need here are your actual resources and your first level of your warehouse. You can have your houses on here and your banks, but for a passive one, your training facilities would be gone, your helipad would be gone. You wouldn't need any of this stuff because you're not going to be actively using it. So take everything off that you can, just production and your first level of storage. That way there's actually something there when you attack it. That's pretty much all that you need. Your focus on all your heroes should just be your development heroes. The great thing that people don't think about in this game is that all your development heroes are predominantly number based. They're not based off a percentage. So any level of upgrade I put into this goes up, 250, 500, 750. That is a very different way to play a game than something that goes up by 1%, 5%, 10%. So things like this that go up by a fixed amount as opposed to a percentage have very, very, very big gains early on. So whether it's a new account that's your main account or a farm account, investing in those is very good early on. It's not necessarily good for me to try to invest in something that's like an active skill. So after use, I gain this. Well, guess what? I'm not going to be here. I'm probably going to forget. So I only want to really be investing in just passive income. So in terms of hero development, that's really where you want to be. On these accounts, you're going to have a lot of item stock. So use item stock. I got 12 million food saved here right now. So before I attack this one, I probably want to unpack it. That way I make sure that I get it. Whether your passive one is a farmer or a trader really doesn't matter. It's kind of a wash. If it's a trader, you get a little bit more resources per hit. But honestly, if you're a farmer, you generate more resources. So in my opinion, for these passive ones, I like them to be farmers as opposed to a trader. You're going to get a lot more passive income out of it at the early stages. A lot of people probably don't agree with that, but that's okay. That's why we all get to make these videos. The second one is how to do an actual active account where you're trying to build this. This is an account, maybe you only have one farm and you can dabble on this, use it to help bonus things a little bit and try to get a little bit more out of it. The first thing you want to do is on troops, just do shooters. The reason that you want to do shooters is fighters don't do a lot of damage, so you're not going to be as good as killing zombies. Vehicles, while they're better for you, they consume fuel. And as you go up in levels, fuel is something that's very hard to get compared to food. So you don't want to be having that consumption going on. So for this account, I got only 15,000 true consumption on food, and on fuel, I got none. I'm actually negative. So you don't want to be using a lot of that. That's a negative. Oh, it's only negative 230 per hour. Sorry, misread all that. So on my food, 15,000 per hour, while on my fuel, only 200 fuel is being burned per hour. So everything of fuel I make is basically putting right back into my pocket. Shooters are good because I can get all of them into a vehicle and they do the most damage to zombies. So I can hop out here, I can hit 1 or 2 zombies and get right back into my base. That's pretty good. Your target for your barracks is you want to get all of them to a point where you can do a gathering of somewhere between 8 and 24 hours. Hopefully you're playing this game enough on this active account that within 8 hours you can just at least check it. Or maybe that's 24 hours. Anything more than that, and you just are putting too many troops, you're putting too much resources back into this farm. So that's not really where you want to be. As far as what level you tend to want these guys at, it's about 18 on average. The reason why 18 is the magic number is that's when you unlock your 4th barracks. So that right now I only have 3. But I'll get a 4th one at level 18, which is better for gathering, getting out there. On your active ones, you're going to be more worried about your daily task and trying to get to 500. So these are things you want to look at is what's the least you can do to try to get to the end. The biggest one on getting to 500 is traditionally training troops. So on these accounts, again, I try to keep everything off. I can just come over here, and all I'm doing is I'm training level 1 vehicles. I'm going to train a bunch of level 1 vehicles and fighters. That way I get those points for my daily, and then I use them to either attack zombies and die, or I just leave them here in my base while all of my shooters are outside gathering. Like I have right here, I got, some APCs out gathering. It's full of shooters. All these little guys that are sitting in my base right now, whenever I attack them, I'll kill them. And then I just don't heal them, and then I don't really need to worry about all that. All you really want is one really good APC for things like participating in your daily window event and trying to kill zombies. The rest of them, you want to just keep again to that 8 to 12, 24 hour kind of gathering period. You're not worried about anything beyond that. If it's less than that, then you got to be more active than you probably really want to be. This one is a really good one to be trader. The reason why is obviously you get better rating, return on your rating, but there's a bazaar here, and you're going to be generating a lot of money. So I got $1 million in this one right now. That's not a lot of money at the end of the day, but that's enough. That's more money than I could get already if I was trying to rate this thing. My durability would go down too fast. So traders are awesome because they give you a lot, but they produce more money than you could actually take out of them. So take a look at your bazaar, click on it and see, okay, well, I can spend $5,000, get myself some lumber, and now I can raid that and maximize that out. You cannot take as much money out of these as you can other resources. So that's just a way that I can try to convert things over, and I can just go through all this until I spend all my money trying to get more resources and try to raid those. So that's one way to spend your money. The other one is on your helipad. So we can go ahead and call in our helipad. He's here now. And I just go to trade, and I got $9,000. So I'm gonna sell all my water because I can't do anything else with it. I'm not using my ration truck. And I'm gonna buy fuel, iron, wood, food, and electricity. So I can buy all that. That money's now spent, and that's good because I can't raid it in time. And I'm gonna be keeping all this back into the resources, which I can just raid those. That's much easier to get. The reason I buy electricity is because I'm not gonna be putting anything into power plants. You can see I don't have any power plants here. I just buy electricity. I'm putting my money into that because I can't get it out from the other way. And by making sure there's electricity here, everything is still functioning at 100% efficiency. So those are definitely the really good ones. Once it gets up to a higher level, I'll have a parts facility. So getting those gathering enhancements and parts is definitely another good one. And that's what kind of comes down to it is, do you want to do something passive? You just check, once a week, or an active one you check every day. It's different for everybody, but this is something that most people in this game end up committing to. So do it early, at least one, and your return on investment will be pretty good.